Welcome to the Inspired Podcast
Yes.
by Miss Amber Red.
Woo!
Yeah.
We are here today with Sasha, baby.
Hey.
Ari,
Sasha, baby.
mommy PMU Amber, Adrienne, and Aleks. Oh, and Maddie. Hey guys.
I was like, everybody knows Aleks' name, right?
Perfect. Yes. I think we are starting this episode off with a discussion about imposter syndrome. Mm-hmm. How does that make y'all feel?
I didn't even know what it meant, so can we tell people what it means? So that way.
Yes, imposter syndrome is when you feel like not authentic, or not like you're doing something and you just don't feel like you're doing it well enough, or that you'll ever be like a real artist. Well, in the PMU world, like we're all out here doing permanent makeup, but like why are we any less than somebody else doing permanent makeup? You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And also being in general in a studio with a bunch of people of different levels for permanent makeup. So you're looking at somebody else and you're just like, am I going to be able to do that? Or just overall, grading yourself, being hard on yourself. I know I'm hard on myself. So just knowing exactly what, your capabilities, and just working towards it and just practicing until, your hands hurt. Because you truly.
I want to pause you because I don't want to forget this thought, but you feel that's a thing. So no, and I wholeheartedly mean that. So like in a studio though,
it's a good point.
When you came in, did you feel like, holy shit, like this is different, and am I gonna?
I did feel a little bit different, mostly because I do somewhat different techniques. I mean, I came here to learn from you guys also, but it's like, I've been doing this for 2 years, and I've taken a bunch of clients, and when I came here, I'm like, I hadn't taken clients obviously for like 2 months because I was just getting in here, shadowing, doing everything, and like when I start taking clients, I'm like, oh my god, like can I even do this? Is this good? Am I good? Am I fine? But I have been doing it for 2 years, and like everybody in the studio is incredibly talented, so it is kind of like, it feels a little weird, but then I'm like, okay, you've been doing this for 2 years. You have a good following. You have supportive clients. You have great teammates. Like you are.
I was gonna say we have
You
to
are that
make
bitch.
sure that you are okay. If anybody is ever feeling that way, and this is like real truth, because that thought never even has crossed my mind ever.
Really? Yeah.
So I could see now that I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like that can never be a thing. So if anybody's ever feeling that way, then we need to have a private, and that's like real shit.
See
because
how supportive Amber is?
I feel bad because I honestly never, because I was in a studio with other artists, but I was like,
Well,
fuck
damn,
that person's
I just
doing,
did my
but like,
I just did my first lip blush in here. I'm like, oh my god, I do it so differently. Like, is it okay? Is it gonna be up to par? Like, am I
you
okay?
almost feel like that. I know that my thing is brows. I love brows.
Yeah.
And, I see her doing brows and everybody else doing brows, and I'm just like, whoa. It's an amazement, but then it's also like, do I know what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to be able to do this? Are my heels going to be back fine? Or like, wow, like, am I going to be up to par with them?
I think, because I came from string mapping and caliper using, and like watching Tanya and Amber like freehand the brows, like just like. I'm like,
oh my god, that is scary.
Very
Or the stickers.
It's intimidating, but it's
stickers.
like, it's so satisfying though, because I'm like, that's where I want to be. So now I have a goal to reach. So it's like, even though, I can tattoo, but like, can I even up my level? I
wasn't allowed to have tools.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because it was just like, if you can't draw an eyebrow, then you don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like we were just flat, like you were not. Probably, kind of that bad, but not that harsh quite.
Yeah,
but it was like, if you can't draw it and you can't see it, then you shouldn't be doing it, basically.
Well, I when I first came in, I was using, and this is, I don't know if I ever told you this, but I used five measuring tools just to make sure. That the brows were on the same plane. And so when I came in here and she was like, oh yeah, you're not using that. As a matter of fact, no, she said you can use the string, and then she looked at Ari because we both started at the same time. She was like, well, I'm going to show her, but I'm going to show you, but you could use it. And I think she was just being nice to me at the time when I first came in, just trying to be nice. But then afterwards, she was like, oh no, you're not going to use that. And I was like, oh my God. So I can appreciate her for that, because now I can literally look and do it without the tape. I never really use a tape because I'm like scared of that thing. I don't like that thing. But the string, all the other devices that I was using, I'm not even using them no more. And why? Like now I just look and I see and I can see it.
Did you use the golden ratio?
I did.
The little protractor looking thing.
I had the protractor. I had the calipers. I had the mini calipers. I had the string. And that's about it. And so now that I have been coming a little under, like about 4 months, we've been with her for 4 months, I could tell you right now, like I look at a brow and I don't need any of that stuff at all. Like when she taught me, I was on scared mode, like, whoa, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. It's going to look weird. And
Michaela's going through that right now.
How about you?
Thank you.
Asked me a couple times. Michaela's who's starting with Aleks.
Yeah.
That's your
Has
partner
to be your little
there.
buddy. Yeah. Starting with, she's not here today, but it's she's questioning that because she's had a little bit experience. Like Adrienne's had a little bit experience, and she's like, I hate that. I hate when you have experience. I'd rather you have no experience. I hate it. Don't tell me what to do. You're here to learn. Stop it. I just don't like it. I'm sorry.
On that note, like coming in with a little bit of experience, that's one thing I can tell you right now. Don't block your direction. All of that, just whatever you learn, out the door. Don't bring that. Learn, be a sponge, and then just roll with it, because that's going to literally take you where you need to be, especially under her direction.
Well, you don't have to get rid of what you're doing. Like Maddie's different, like Maddie came in and she's like, "Is that okay? Like you did that lip blush, and I know you did it, your way." And I'm like, Maddie can be added to lip blush rotation. Like, why? You know what I mean? I'm like, why am I going to change everything that Maddie's doing if it's working for Maddie? And I'm like, but I did tell Tanya, I was like, there's no way she's getting added to lipstick looks using a smaller needle like that. I don't agree with it. It's not going to be up to like what ours would last. So like, then Maddie does need to learn that certain way of doing the larger shader. Like if you want to be doing that. But you know what I mean? Like, but you don't have to get rid of everything. Maddie hasn't.
The only time I've done a lipstick look was with like a MAC, and
that would be okay.
It was fine. It was on my old roommate's lips, and they actually healed pretty good. They're still lasting, but it's intimidating. So it's like not a lot of people on the East Coast even want anything as intimidating, intense, and like out here, like people, give me the biggest wing you can. I'm like, ooh, let's do it.
San Francisco, it's less is more. So they don't want all the bold brow. They don't want those huge lashes.
Oh, we get fun stuff.
You know what I mean? They don't want any of that. So of course, I want to be a part of this culture out here because they like that stuff. In San Francisco, they don't even dress up. The way I look, when I open the door, they're looking at me like, but I'm an authoritative beauty figure here. Okay. And so I just have a tendency of like, okay, but I'm super warm with it. You know what I mean? But people in San Francisco, they are literally wearing loose clothes, Birkenstocks, and they're showing up to work like that.
To anyone in San Francisco, we love you.
So, and real quick, because Aleks is being quiet over there, and so is Ari. But Ari, we'll come back to that in a second, because I've heard you say things, and now that I've heard you say things, I'm like, oh, that's what that was. It's a little bit of like this, imposter syndrome stuff, kind of creeping in on you a little bit. Because I remember you being I said I was going to come back to it, because I want to talk to her too. But I remember you a couple times kind of saying things like, Adrienne has experience. Like, am I like, is this gonna be okay? I'm like, girl, don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Like, it don't matter. Like, you guys, you guys are both right there with each other at the same level right now. And she had experience. Like,
And honestly, during my apprenticeship, I had somebody like you and Adrienne. I had Nicole, and she was an esthetician, so she was already used to, mapping brows and the skin, and had all that knowledge. And I was like, God damn, like how am I supposed to compete? And then it just ended up we worked completely different ways, and it was just like we were not working the same, but we were as supportive. Just as supportive. And it's like really cool to see her, grow her business, do permanent makeup the way she does it, and it works for her, and that it works for her clients. But it's like even to the brow mapping, like I never drew my makeup on, so like once I had to learn how this, and I'm like, the string, I'm like I hated brow mapping with the string, with the caliper, anything, because like nobody's face is perfect, so it was just a big struggle with me to like be like, okay, I have to do this, and like not beat myself up over it. Why could she see it better than I could?
I mean, you do see that. And that is an imposter syndrome. Like, between Ari and I, we're both estheticians. We both do lashes, and, we have different forms. And so when we first came together, it was like, she's looking at me like, well, you had some experience. And I'm like, no, I don't. Like, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. No, I don't. Like, I've touched skin, but did I know what I was doing? No, that's why I'm here. This is why I'm traveling.
I don't think,
traveling state lines just to, get
Yeah.
with somebody. You just can't pick anybody to teach you.
Yeah.
And she tells me
know?
all the time, "You are so lucky you live here." So
That I do say to
so I
her
can be
all the
around
time.
Amber more.
I say that because she gets to be here and she gets to see, everything that once I leave out of here, it's basically I have to do the whole other beauty thing, right?
Yeah.
And so coming here, I'm super excited. I get to really embody different levels of permanent makeup and just, loving it and not having a comparison. Because at one point you do come in here with that imposter syndrome where you're just like, am I going to be good enough to even to be or to represent, right? Because wholeheartedly, we're coming in, we want to do the best that we can and add our zhuzh to it and knowing that it's the right way. And the right way is what we're here today with.
I do
her.
think too, having esthetician, people who have that experience. I came off the street with nothing, so I'm just licensed as a tattoo artist. And I do feel like estheticians who get into permanent makeup, you kind of already have an upper hand, where you kind of know, you already have a clientele base for other services, and people trust you to do their lashes. Maybe they're going to trust you to do their brows and stuff.
And
where
they
it's I just am
have.
out here convincing people, no,
to your face.
come on, let me tattoo your face.
No.
And yeah, so it's that too is it's hard because it's oh great, now it's not permanent makeup artist, it's I'm an esthetician and a permanent makeup artist, and it's oh damn it.
I thought about going to aesthetic school just because I was bored.
Yeah.
I was is that backwards? Can I still do that?
You
Maybe
could.
I can still do that.
Well, I did permanent makeup backwards that way.
Yeah.
So I took a classes and then decided, hey, I think I need
need to
an
do the full
apprenticeship.
apprenticeship.
And then, just being in that business. So also doing medical, because I'm in the medical field as well. I have a lot of hats. But just overall, just walking in and learning how to do everything you learn and then just being open-minded.
Yeah.
Be the sponge.
I want to hear from Aleks because this was her topic idea and she is silent.
Yep. There you go.
That's
Let everyone else
Is there
There.
is there a time that you felt that way, or do you feel like you're gonna feel that way kind of coming in, or do you struggle with that a little bit? It's good for us to be aware of because we don't know you, right?
Yeah.
You're not gonna cry on me, are you?
Art?
I do a lot of drawing and painting.
I love painting.
I went to art school in high school, so I feel like having your art being graded on isn't really the best, because if they feel, or the teachers feel like it's not up to par with them, you'll fail.
That's true.
And
I went to art school, girl. I know what that's like.
Yeah, I just feel like I have a problem with perfectionism and stuff like that. And my mom is also an artist as well, so I never really felt safe making art. So I literally gave up art for a long time because of that self-doubt and stuff like that. I'm not.
I think that's
very
a beautiful thing
confident.
about art, though. It could be whatever you want it to be. You
Yeah,
shouldn't
I'm
be
trying to
super hard.
learn.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself, because I don't really like to draw, but I love painting and I like abstract painting. So when I got into this, and everything's got to be perfect, it all kind of ties together in the end. And it's one person's work can look one way, and then another person's work can look another way, and they're both beautiful works.
Yeah.
So it's there is not. That's the beauty of this industry, is there's so many different ways to do stuff. Things look differently, things heal differently, and it's just it's all still good.
And an art background, I think, is what has made me feel comfortable doing it. Because when I draw an eyebrow, because I'm not I was never makeup person. So, and I don't know shit about shit, when it comes to makeup. Don't even ask me. I got a couple things that I just used. That's it. And so, you'll hear me draw an eyebrow, and a lot of time it's hard to explain to people, because they expect you to explain it from that side of things. And rather, my response is, I see shapes. You'll hear me say, as I'm drawing eyebrows, I see shapes.
Yeah.
I see a triangle. I can see symmetry. I can match them from side to side. So the art background is extremely helpful. It's probably just as
Hopefully.
important as an aesthetic background, to be honest. So
Yeah.
don't play that down, because
Honestly,
it's really
the biggest thing that'll
helpful.
carry you is the passion.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah.
I love.
I think that
love
carries you
PMU.
through.
I mean, before I was I don't know if I can do this. I'm, taking a course to see what machines look like, and those things were scary. I was like, oh Lord, you know. But she has when I first she actually sold me my first bishop, and I left it alone because I was just like, this is kind of strong. Like in my hand, I have sensitivity with my hands, so I just kind of put it away in a drawer. Not right now, you know, but definitely bringing it out and really working with it because of what I've learned from Amber. Like, I'm just really learning, and I just love it.
That's
like,
a whole
it's
nother conversation.
beautiful.
You know, I met this girl at a Shades and Strokes back in like 2014.
I think you did tell me that one time. Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
You have a
that's
picture
literally how I
together,
met
right?
her, is helping her with the bishop at the class had
Another
like
training.
How to
30
arch a-
people in it,
Yeah.
and I ended up coming across her table. I was on her side of the room, and then started talking to Adrienne.
So fun.
And I
So
was
crazy.
asking her, like, why do you bend the needle that way? And she was just like, yeah, you have to arch it. And I was like, wow. And to many years go by and then coming back together.
Like 10 years.
Like
Yeah,
a
that's
long
wild.
That's
time. And it's
crazy.
just like, it's very meant to be. Definitely very meant to be.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us again on another episode. And don't forget to
like, follow, share, and subscribe.
That's right.
Period.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.